Ronnie O'Sullivan, the legendary snooker player often referred to as the Rocket, has once again stunned fans. This time, not with his brilliance on the green baize, but with his absence. In a surprising move, O'Sullivan withdrew from a high-profile exhibition match against his longtime rival, John Higgins. For fans and pundits alike, this decision has raised eyebrows and sparked speculation about the reasons behind his continued absence from key events. The exhibition match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins was slated to be a thrilling encounter. These two titans of snooker have shared the stage in countless iconic battles over the years, from World Championship finals to classic ranking events. Their rivalry, built on mutual respect and fierce competition, is one of the most celebrated in the sport's history. For fans, this event wasn't just about snooker. It was about witnessing two masters of the game reignite their storied rivalry in a more relaxed, exhibition setting. Such matches often offer fans a rare glimpse of their heroes' personalities and flair, free from the pressures of competitive play. O'Sullivan's withdrawal, therefore, has left many feeling disappointed and puzzled. O'Sullivan hasn't provided an official statement about his decision. This isn't the first time the six-time world champion has taken a step back from the limelight. In recent years, he has spoken candidly about the mental and physical toll of professional snooker. He has also made it clear that, at this stage of his career, he prioritizes his well-being and personal interests over a relentless pursuit of titles and appearances. Some speculate that O'Sullivan's absence could be linked to ongoing fatigue or a desire to avoid burnout. Others suggest he might be focusing on other projects outside snooker, such as his television appearances, book writing, or even his passion for running. Regardless of the reason, his withdrawal underscores a broader theme. Ronnie O'Sullivan's career has always been on his terms. The snooker community's reaction has been mixed. Many fans, particularly those who purchased tickets specifically to see O'Sullivan, expressed their disappointment on social media. For them, his presence isn't just a draw, it's the centerpiece of events like these. There's also an understanding among some supporters that their favorite player needs to prioritize his health and personal life. For John Higgins and the organizers of the exhibition, O'Sullivan's withdrawal presents logistical and promotional challenges. Higgins, ever the professional, has carried on with the event and delivered a stellar performance, but there's no denying the void left by O'Sullivan's absence. Ronnie O'Sullivan's approach to his career has always been unconventional. Skipping events, speaking his mind about the state of the sport, or taking time away to recharge. He's never been one to follow the traditional mold of a professional athlete. And while this has occasionally drawn criticism, it's also part of what makes him such a compelling figure. O'Sullivan's decision to withdraw from the Higgins exhibition serves as a reminder that even the greatest players are human. As much as fans crave to see him in action, it's clear that O'Sullivan is focusing on balancing his life, both on and off the table. This signals a temporary pause or a more extended break. One thing is certain: the Rocket's legacy in snooker is secure, and his every move continues to captivate the sport's global audience. For seven-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan, this scenario has become a reality. Known as the Rocket for his breathtaking speed and precision, O'Sullivan is as much an artist as an athlete. But as whispers of uncertainty grow louder, his latest withdrawal from the German Masters raises a pressing question. Is the curtain slowly falling on one of snooker's greatest careers?
And Ronnie, first up, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about your withdrawal. Was it a tough decision?
Yeah, it was a nightmare decision, really, to make. You know, if you'd have asked me Sunday was I ready to play, I probably would have been okay to play. But it's such a massive tournament, and I've obviously been on this 3-week trip away playing, and I just think I just exhausted myself. You know, a lot of pressure while I was away, and I just think the build-up of all that kind of just got a bit too much, really. So yeah, I mean, I lost the plot on Thursday, snapped my cue, so that's unplayable. So yeah, I just knew that at that moment in time the right decision was to not play, and such a big tournament, I thought, you know, that whoever was going to come in should have at least had a couple of days' notice, you know.
Yeah, respect to the game, respect to you for that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's absence from the German Masters marks yet another chapter in his ongoing break from competitive snooker. The 47-year-old legend, who has often cited mental fatigue and personal priorities as reasons for stepping back, has left fans speculating about the future of his career. The German Masters is a key fixture on the snooker calendar, drawing top players and fans from around the globe. O'Sullivan's decision to skip the event follows a pattern observed in recent years. Despite his undeniable talent and competitive fire, the game's rigorous schedule appears to conflict with his evolving personal and professional priorities. This isn't the first time O'Sullivan has taken a step back. Over the years, he's been candid about the mental toll of high-stakes competition. He's publicly discussed the challenges of staying motivated in a sport he's already conquered multiple times. In 2020, O'Sullivan famously said, "You're better off not having a career in snooker. It's a really hard life." Comments like these highlight the complex relationship he has with the game. While fans are undoubtedly disappointed by his withdrawal, O'Sullivan's legacy remains untarnished. With a record equaling 7 world championships, 39 ranking titles, and nearly 1,200 century breaks, his achievements are unparalleled. But it's not just his records that make him iconic, it's his unique style and charisma. Few players can captivate an audience like O'Sullivan, turning even casual viewers into ardent snooker enthusiasts. So why has he chosen to extend his hiatus? Sources close to O'Sullivan suggest it's a combination of factors. Health concerns, both physical and mental, likely play a role. The snooker veteran's intense focus on fitness and well-being suggests he's prioritizing long-term health over short-term glory. His ventures outside snooker, including his burgeoning media career, writing projects, and personal pursuits, are taking up more of his time and energy.
Sporting gods, and they're going to take care of me. They have done for 30, 40 years since I've been playing, so I never kind of worry about where the wins are going to come. Am I going to do all right? Always know things are going to be good for me in that respect. So, but it was just sort of, like I said, as you get a bit older, I'm just not geared up for that type of... Especially we're playing people that are younger as well, you know, 26, 27, 30s, they're all very hungry, they've got that, whatever, and I just didn't really... Yeah, it was just hard, you know. Sheffield is a hard tournament, you know. It's a gladiatorial sort of venue. There's a lot of pressure before in the build-up, and that's the bit, you know, when you're out there playing, it's okay, that's the best place to be, but it's just managing your time in between, and I've never been really good with that. So that tournament's never really suited me either, you know, but it's just one of them that you just kind of have to do. It's probably a bit like you with the Olympics, you know, it's a daunting task, but you can't shy away from it. You know, at some point you can, if you've won the medals and done this, you can go, you know what, I just enjoy the sport, love doing it. If I come 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th, I just enjoy the lifestyle, and that's where I'm at with it now. So, yeah, that's it's very hard to explain what a dark place is like, but it's just sort of, it's just, you know, it's just that point of, do I quit or do I not?
How far do you push yourself? Is it that?
Yeah, because I had to kind of go through all the skills that I've learned over the years to sort of stay in the game, if you like, when things weren't going well, and I just thought, you know what, this, you know, like, mentally you quit, you know, but I didn't allow myself to do that. I kind of fought I give 100% in every area, and that's what was hard for me, you know. It's like years ago I could just, not just roll up and play, but I could kind of blag it a bit, you know what I mean? I could get away with not having to give 100% all the time. 80, 70% was enough to just get me through, and then you just kind of dial up through the gears. But this one I knew that I had to sort of call on everything if I was to have a chance of winning it, and that can be hard sometimes, you know.
Is that why you seem to be so emotional afterwards? Because we all saw you on television, yeah. But then I know from our friends at Eurosport, when the cameras stopped rolling as well and you went into the studio, you were just in tears and floods. Is that why? Because it had been all that pent-up emotion?
Yeah, I mean, I was well gone before that. I really was, you know. They didn't catch that bit on camera because they didn't happen to be there, but I was well gone before that.
Why?
Just the pressure. I don't deal with pressure that well, to be honest with you. I'm okay when I'm out there.
O'Sullivan's absence leaves a void in the snooker world. Events without him often lack the same buzz and viewership, underscoring his unparalleled impact on the sport. It also opens the door for other players to step into the spotlight. Rising stars like Luca Brissell and Zhao Xintong, along with established names like Judd Trump, have an opportunity to shine in O'Sullivan's absence. Fans can only hope this isn't a precursor to retirement. O'Sullivan has often said he doesn't envision a dramatic farewell. Instead, he'd prefer to gradually fade away, playing only when it suits him. This current hiatus is temporary or signals a slow departure from competitive snooker. One thing is clear: Ronnie O'Sullivan's contributions to the sport are eternal. For now, the snooker world watches and waits, ever hopeful for the Rocket's next dazzling return. Until then, his absence is a stark reminder of how much he means to the game and its fans.
But Al, in terms of the snooker that we've seen so far, the last 3 matches, they've been so good.
Yeah, brilliant. A couple of deciders, a 6-3 for good measure as well. Brilliant today. Slow burn, as you said at the time, but it developed into a brilliant match, which you expect at the Masters, and we expect more of the same tonight.
And in terms of tonight, Ron, I mean, 2 players, tenacious, passionate. What can we expect from Carter Selby?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mark Selby's playing some good stuff, you know. He was up in Leicester and, you know, he was just cruising through matches. Looks like he's got a gear to spare, which is always nice. Probably the best match player that's ever played, him and John Higgins. Enjoying his snooker, seems in a good place.
The Rocket's decision has sparked widespread discussion, with his loyal supporters and critics alike wondering if this marks the beginning of a troubling chapter in his illustrious career. In this piece, we'll break down what we know so far, the potential implications, and what it means for the future of snooker. Ronnie O'Sullivan's latest withdrawal came just days after he shocked fans by pulling out of the Masters, a tournament where his name is practically synonymous with excellence. This time, he has stepped away from another high-profile event, leaving fans puzzled and concerned. According to sources close to the snooker legend, O'Sullivan cited personal reasons for his absence but provided no further details. This lack of transparency has only fueled speculation about the nature of the issue. Some insiders suggest that health concerns could be a factor, with whispers about a recurring elbow injury that has troubled him in the past. Others point to mental health struggles, an area where O'Sullivan has been refreshingly candid in the past. The pressure of maintaining his legendary status, combined with the grueling demands of professional snooker, could be taking a toll. This isn't the first time O'Sullivan has taken a step back from the game. Throughout his career, he's been open about his battles with depression and the unique challenges of being in the spotlight. These back-to-back withdrawals feel different, a potential turning point for a player who has always danced to the beat of his own drum. His absence also raises questions about the impact on the sport as a whole. Ronnie O'Sullivan isn't just a player, he's a global ambassador for snooker. His flair, unpredictability, and sheer talent draw audiences far beyond the sport's traditional fan base. Without him, tournaments can feel diminished, both in terms of viewership and prestige. The snooker community has been quick to rally around O'Sullivan. Fellow players like Judd Trump and Mark Selby have expressed their support, emphasizing the importance of mental and physical well-being over the pressures of competition. Fans have flooded social media with messages of encouragement, using hashtags like "Come Back Stronger Rocket" to show solidarity.
Ronnie, thank you for joining us. We were sitting down here and you were telling us just how much you hated the World Championships and your 7th world title. What?
It's not a normal response.
Yeah, it's a tough event, you know. Yeah, you know, it sort of up until when I won I can't remember what one it was, the 5th one. I think I was about 30. I can't remember, 37, late 30s, and I'd finish it and I'd kind of go, I could like wake up next day and think I could do that again. And then when I won it in 2020, I was gone for about 10 days afterwards. I thought, shit, that's just because you're getting older, you know, your body does. It's like the nervous system, I think, was kind of pulverised for 17 days, and it's not until you finish that you kind of like, it kind of hits you. And I didn't like that feeling, you know, and I just thought that's not normal, you know, it's not right really to put, you know, to go through that really, you know, because you're obviously shutting down a lot of emotions during the event and it just comes out at some point, you know, afterwards. And this year was no different. But yeah, I promised myself I'd never go to the dark places that tournament requires you to go to, because it's such an endurance test mentally.
At the same time, critics have raised concerns about the lack of communication. Some argue that as a public figure, O'Sullivan owes his fans a clearer explanation. Others contend that his privacy should be respected, especially if he's dealing with personal or health-related issues. For now, O'Sullivan's future remains uncertain. Will he return for the next major tournament, or is this a sign of a more extended hiatus? Only time will tell. What is clear, though, is that the Rocket's well-being must come first. Whether he's dazzling us on the table or taking a much-needed break, Ronnie O'Sullivan's impact on snooker is undeniable, and fans will be waiting patiently for his return. As this story unfolds, the snooker world will keep a close eye on its brightest star, hoping that whatever challenges he's facing, he'll overcome them with the resilience and brilliance that have defined his career. Charismatic and ever-ebullient professional Shawn Murphy is sending shockwaves through the sport as he readies himself for the World Championship, known equally for his accuracy on the table as his sharpness of strategic thought. And comments recently from the man himself have set tongues alight among fans and competitors alike. As he prepares to go toe-to-toe with the best in the sport's showpiece event of the snooker calendar, Murphy has fired a stark warning to his rivals, a declaration that he is a force to be reckoned with. Speaking candidly to basketball insiders recently, Murphy himself confessed to all that he was going through, from his transformation of a month ago to what mental and physical readjustments it had taken him so as to lift up his game to the new heights he wants for himself. "I work harder than ever," Murphy let out during that candid talk where humility rang in almost every part of his tone, coupled with steely determination. "This is a year of discovering more things within myself, how far beyond them I can really go." It has not been an easy ride for Murphy, known as the Magician for his uncanny ability to conjure brilliance from situations that would defeat other players. He has had his share of ups and downs. In recent years, he has struggled for consistency, leading to questions about whether he could still compete with the likes of Judd Trump, Ronnie O'Sullivan, and Mark Selby. But those doubts now seem a distant memory, as Murphy's recent performances have shown a player revitalized and ready to reclaim his place at the top. He now looked back on a journey that had brought him to this decisive moment, reflected on a fresh wave of intensive fitness and mental training. "I've always felt snooker was as much a mental game as physical," he said. "The table doesn't care about your reputation or your past glories. It's about who can handle the pressure at the moment. That's what I've been training for."
And with this red, it certainly should be. He's been the best player all week, Kevin.
He has, and that's the important one.
And Coran will reflect on a few missed chances. He put up a great fight.
And there's a bit of emotion. We were waiting for it. The fist bump.
What a wonderful championship. What a wonderful match we've been treated to tonight, John, in the final. Thoroughly deserved.
93.
Best player all week. Come on, knock it in. And you get a standing ovation. Absolutely brilliant. Well played, Shawn Murphy. That's the way to get over the line. Wonderful century break. Kyron Wilson gives him his congratulations. We get the fist pump, and it's thoroughly deserved. He's been the best player all week. Magnificent. Maximum included this week. And what a way to get over the line. That was absolute quality from Shawn Murphy, the 2025 Masters champion. Well played. You were brilliant all week.
Recent performances have vindicated such claims, with Murphy in scintillating form of late, with many career-best performances reminding people of his skill and flair that won him the World Championship in 2005. His more attacking game, coupled with an improved safety game, has made him an opponent feared by his peers. Critics have noticed he now appears more composed and confident, which could prove vital in the high-stakes matches at the Crucible Theater. But what perhaps was most striking of Murphy's resurgence was the poise with which he handled his setbacks and used them as fuel for self-improvement. He referred to one such disheartening loss that earlier this season finally put him at a juncture where something clicked. The defeat was so bitter to take in, it really put some things into perspective. What I did have to do. It was a wake-up call. Since then, he's been on a mission to silence his critics, to prove to himself that he still belongs among the sport's elite. Murphy's warning to his rivals is not just empty bravado. He's backed it up with hours of practice, fine-tuning every aspect of his game. His long potting, a hallmark of his playing style, has been particularly sharp in recent tournaments, and his tactical acumen has reached new heights. As he prepares to face the best players in the world, Murphy's confidence is infectious. "I know what I'm capable of," he said. "I'm not here to make up the numbers, I'm here to win." It's the ultimate test for any snooker player a marathon that requires great skill, stamina, and no small amount of mental toughness. For Murphy, it's the opportunity to add another chapter to his already storied career. "Walking out at the Crucible is always special," he said. "It's the dream of every snooker player to lift that trophy, and I'm no different. But this year feels different. I've never felt more ready."